Some of y'all need to learn how to take constructive criticism, and I'll tell you why. So I'm sitting at my homegirl house with her apartment, and we're sitting there, we're having a few drinks, we're listening to music, just having a good time. It's starting to rain. So we're just all, just me, her homeboy, or whatever. We're just sitting there, nothing more, nothing less. So the music got louder, she got drunker, and I'm trying to tell her, girl, be quiet. You got neighbors. You can't be doing all of that, especially when you live in an apartment. And where she currently lives is like basically studio apartments that used to be an old apartment building. I'm not going to disclose the location. But anyway, she just, just getting loud and belligerent. And, it's a difference between having a good time and not being able to control your alcohol. So where she lives at, there's a security guard that you have to go through and sign in, show your ID and all of that before you can visit a guest. So all of a sudden I hear a Miss such and such, open the door, open the door. So me and the guy, we peeking out the peephole like, girl, that's your security guard right there. So the girl gets to telling us, y'all open that door, don't call me no more, don't contact me no more, don't text me no more. And I'm looking at her like, what? This is security, girl. What do you mean? He could call the police or anything. I'm telling y'all, if y'all open this door, man, don't open my door. Don't open my door. Do not let nobody in. The security guard, he steady banging on the door, and you could tell that he was not going to let up until she opened the door. He said, open the door. I said, girl, open this door right here, because if he called the police, that's going to be crazy. And I've had my mug shots in life. That life is behind me. So she finally opened the door, and the security guard was like, Miss such and such, it's time for your guests to leave, and y'all too loud, and blah, 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 blah. Keep in mind, I've already was telling her, you loud, you have neighbors, you can't do that in an apartment building. So me and the guy, we finally leave or whatever, and blah, blah, blah. So we go home, and she contacts me the next day, but I don't answer. The reason for me not answering is because I was just still so blown about what happened the day before. Like, the only thing that went through my mind was like, dang, I could have lost everything I worked so hard for to currently get where I am. And not trying to be funny, but when people have a little less than you, they don't care about losing anything at all. So the whole time I'm thinking, like, I really don't want to talk to her right now. I pray everything is well with her, because when the security guard was knocking on the door, and we opened it, he's standing there with a piece of paper in his hand. So I'm like, damn, I hope that ain't no eviction or anything like that that could really get her messed up. Plus, she has a caseworker as well. Throughout the week, the girl, she was contacting me, texting me, calling me, trying to reach out to me on social media. And for a week, I did not speak to her at all because, like I said, I was trying to get my thoughts together, my mindset together on how I need to approach the situation to her where she wouldn't get upset, but still have clarification. So yeah, y'all, I was just trying to get a mindset where I can give her clarification to understand, her behavior, it just wasn't cool at all. You know what I'm saying? As far as her living situation, as far as me and the guy being her guest, the way she was speaking with us, and her not just really, taking her neighbors and her living situation into consideration. So a couple of days before I decided to reach out to her, after so many attempts from her, she texted me and she was like, yeah, don't forget to press on nails and the nail glue. Because I told her the next time I'll see you, I'll bring you some press on nails and nail glue. But in my mind, I'm like, girl, that should be the last thing on your mind right now. You jobless, you know what I'm saying? You at risk of losing your place, God forbid. But I mean, just priorities just all messed up. Yeah, her priorities were just all messed up. So when I decided to reach out to her finally, I texted her and I let her know. I said, look, the situation that happened at your crib or whatever, that was just really uncalled for. And it kind of scared me because, like I said, I could have lost everything that I had. Because if that security guard would have called the police for us being too loud or, being, belligerent, or her getting smart with him or anything, we all could have lost everything. And I told her straight up, I said nails and nail glue, pressed on nails or whatever, that should be the last thing on your mind. You really need to focus on getting yourself together, girl. So, baby, after I text her that, baby, she sent me a text message and she was like, yeah, I understand. I'm getting myself together and blah, blah, blah. How about she decided she wanted to unfriend me on social media, baby, delete my phone number and all that? All because I was trying to be a good friend, because I was concerned about you. I said all of that to say this. You need genuine people in your life. You need people that's not going to sugarcoat things for you. You need people that's going to tell you what it is, tell you what's real, tell you what's the truth, and not care about you getting mad, not care about them cutting you off. You need genuine people like that, because I feel like that's a real friend. People that beat around the bush and tell you what you want to hear, that ain't your friend for real. They want to see you get hurt. They want to see you get messed over. They want to see you look crazy. Baby, tell me what it is. If I got a book in my nose, tell me that. If my outfit ain't tea, tell me that. If I'm looking crazy over anybody, tell me that. But don't just tell me things that you think that I want to hear. That's not a friend. That's an op.